Hola, everybody. Um, I started my morning with a poop explosion. So I am dog sitting. My mom is in Europe and I'm dog sitting KK. And she decided last night to rip open my microwavable heat pack, which is filled with flax, and then eat the flax and then poop it out and throw it up. So that's how my morning is going. She's now outside, so we won't have any pooping dog interruptions. And yeah, so that's how I started my morning, and got to vacuum up flaxseed and pick up poop and clean my carpet. I was supposed to have a phone call with a potential trainer for Kyle. I am going to be moving him in June, and she did not call. So anyway, that's my morning. I'm a little discombobulated. I have no idea what my hair is doing. I did put on a little bit of makeup for you, so I don't look like a troll. And we're going to be organizing my decks. My friend Kristen is running my spreadsheet. She's going to be updating it, and that is what it is. And I'm sitting on the floor. I have all my decks behind me. And that's what we got going on. So I do have my decks. Here's Gordy. He's gonna come give emotional support, which is the risk of sitting on the floor. But I didn't know how else to do this. So here we are. Hi, Gordon. Hello. Hello. Yes. He is a very good dog and didn't poop all over the floor. Okay, but we're live. We're live, so you gotta go. Okay. I think I'm gonna start with indie. Okay, go away. I'm gonna start with indie. Yes, indie decks. We're gonna start with indie decks because there are some indie decks that I don't use, and they're gonna go on the bottom shelves. Okay, enough. Thank you. That didn't work. Okay, we're just gonna lay there now. On my phone. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna come in the front end now. There we go. Okay. So, God, what is happening? Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that. All right, so let's get into it. So, one of the ones that is going to be on the bottom, I do have my little duster thing here. Here, we'll do this. Is my Independent Lightseers Tarot. This was a gift. It is now worth quite a bit of money. I do not have the controversial Ten of Swords, but this is the original indie deck. It is signed by Chris Ann. There. It is deck 347 out of 2,500. And like I said, this was one that she opened and took out the offensive 10 of Swords. Let me see if I can find the new one. And I bought this was a gift, so I bought a mass market version of this deck to use once I found out how expensive it was. And if you can't hear me, I will put on a mic, but I thought my computer did a good enough job. And this is a 4-figure deck. And I've seen it as high as like 1,500 with the original 10 of Swords. It's going to be the last card. Why is it always the last card? Here it is. So the original showed a woman with scars on her back, like she had been lashed. And there was some upset about that because it was considered racially insensitive. So I do know that people didn't like how Chris Ann had handled that. I think decks that had already been sent out got sent the replacement card, which is why some people have 2, but some people, she went into the decks like in this one and replaced it, so she had taken off the cellophane and everything. So people felt like that wasn't a good thing to do. I got mine secondhand. This is before my tarot time, so I have no opinions on that. But that is going to go on a bottom shelf. I guess we'll do other big decks. Or decks that I'm not going to be using for a while. So as you know, I have my list of 12 decks I want to use this year. And decks that are not on that list or not decks that I use very often are going to go on a bottom shelf for next year's 12 decks that I want to use. So this is the Wonderstruck Tarot. This was a Kickstarter from last year. It is a beautiful, beautiful, really well done deck. The cards are more oracle sized than tarot, but it has beautiful holographic details on all the cards. And I have not used this yet. So this is going to be one for next year. I'm just collecting faster than I can use decks. So that is going to go on the bottom shelf with Light Seers. One thing I do not like about this box is that it is very, very tight. I need to get an X-Acto knife and make it a little bigger. Otherwise, I feel like it's going to bend the cards. And it does come with a beautiful full color guidebook. And so that is my Wonderstruck Tarot. Next, we have the Mythweaver Tarot by Liliana Simone. I also got her Decadent Tarot, which I'll show in a little bit. This is the big one with the big codex. And I desperately, desperately need tarot creators to stop using the side-by-side boxes. Those are driving me crazy. I can't, drives me crazy. So this is the Codex. And if you're unfamiliar with this deck, this was a Kickstarter last year. Each of the cards has an assigned myth to them. So this is the Seven of Swords, and it's the Kitsune. Six of Swords is the Thunderbird. It pulls from multiple cultures. The Black Mother is Kali. So just a beautiful deck. It does have these beautiful black edges. I got the one without the keywords because I got the big Codex. And it has a side-by-side box. And if you don't know what I mean by a side-by-side box, you have to split the deck in two. So, deck creators, stop doing it. It's pretty, but I don't like it. And this is one I want to read the guidebook for before I start using it. So I have several of those, and I have no time to read guidebooks. So this is also going on the bottom shelf. Okay. I do have Hey Marion, how are you? I'm organizing my decks and talking to people, to no one, because no one's here, but my friend Kristen, who's updating my tarot spreadsheet. Everyone, my friend Marion, the Marion Kirk of Marion K Tarot, is hosting the Oracle's Rebellion next weekend. It's in Glasgow, Scotland, and she has 4 in-person tickets left if you are in the UK. And I believe there are still online tickets available. I will be attending online as much as I would have loved to go to Scotland. It just wasn't in the cards for me this year. But I will be attending virtually, and I am so excited. I've already figured out that I have to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning for the early sessions, and I'm doing that. I'm going to screw up my sleep schedule for this. So if you didn't know about it, now you do, and you should go buy your tickets, because they on Wednesday is the final sale date. Okay. I have lots of cards with books, and I don't know how I want to organize that. Okay, let's go with another deck. I'm not going to use this year. Okay, so this was the NYC Tarot, and this is so cool. This was sent to me by my friend Amber, and Amber, Liz Sinova, and I did a 3-way deck exchange. Hey, Starlight! So this is the deck Amber sent me. She is a New Yorker. I have not used this deck. I have no connection to New York, but I love that a friend sent it to me, and I think it is so cute. So if I ever go to NYC, this is the deck I'm taking with me. And the box is a little damaged. It needs some TLC and some tape. but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So that is also going on my shelf to be used at a later date. And I think my books I'm going to do separately. I don't like separating them from their tarot, but I don't know how else to do it. So we'll do these in order. I have too many decks. Okay. Decks with books. All right. First up, I am a Jamie Sawyer fangirl. So this is the Felt Tarot. And I don't know what I did with my Felt Tarot. Oh, it's behind me. Okay. So this was my project last night. So Jamie edged her deck in these glitter pens. So naturally, I was like, that's a great idea. And she's the one that gave me the idea to edge my decks in glitter. And so that's been what I've been doing. Hold on. Oh. Guys, I'm turning 40 next month, and sitting on the floor is not good for me. So here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's beautiful. Anyway, so this is the Felt Tarot. Jamie did this deck in all felt, and embroidery. It is so creative and beautiful. It has no faces. Even the court cards. Let me find a court card. So like, here's the King of Swords. There is a suggestion of a face, but no actual face. It's an absolutely beautiful deck. I shuffled it last night because I wanted to see all the colors together. But it is a gorgeous deck. Oh, the 10 of Swords. Okay. This is actually one of my decks, my 12 decks to use in 2026. And I think I'm going to use it for May. So I'm actually going to leave this one out with its guidebook because I need to read the guidebook. Next, another Jamie Sawyer deck, Pocket of Peers. So I bought this one from AV Marketplace. It was not supposed to come with a guidebook, but she surprised me. And if you are unfamiliar with Pocket of Peers, Jamie, this is an indie deck. All of the people depicted are fellow readers and tarot pioneers. And I don't know who all of them are, but I'm getting there. That right there is Melissa Sanova. Hey, Starlight, I use some glitter pens I got off of Amazon. I will post, when this posts, I'll put the link in the description. You might need to send me a message and remind me on Instagram though. So this is Pocket of Peers. And this one, I really, really wanted to get it because it was a Jamie deck. And two, it has some of my friends in this deck, which I really like. So this is not a deck I'm going to be using this year. Does this fit? so books need to go on the bottom. Okay, next is another book, another deck I'm going to use this year, maybe in June. But that is The Peculiar Pathways by Lennox Reese. And here is the supplemental guidebook. And Lennox does amazing decks. Super high quality cardstock. And she layers different kinds of art. So, and the guidebook, she discusses the black and white images that she overlaid over the art in the background and the different symbols she included from the RWS. So that is why I want to read one of those. I want to read the guidebook, but it is beautiful. I did not know that you are in a tarot deck, Marion. Which tarot deck are you in? I must go buy it. Okay, so books I want to use this year. I think I'm going to put on a different shelf. Okay, next is the Tarot of Trees. This is a little mini deck. It's like not quite pocket, but not quite full size. And I love this deck. For a deck that uses all trees and no people, it manages to display the traditional RWS meanings incredibly well. So here we have the 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups. Apparently this is like not very well shuffled. 7 of Pentacles. That's amazing, Marion. I feel like when it comes to like popular readers and prolific readers and stuff like that, there's kind of a different culture between the US and the UK. I mean, you have your kind of your grandmothers of tarot, right? You have your Rachel Pollack and your Mary Kay Greer and your Barbara Moore, and they are universal to both sets. But I also feel like your popular and like niche famous readers are different in the UK than in America. This Hermit card is great. So this was an Etsy purchase for me, and I got the accompanying guidebook because I figured it had to be more substantial than just the traditional meanings. It honestly isn't really, but it is still a beautiful guidebook. And I love it. You can't go wrong with a good guidebook. So, okay, next, this was a splurge. Oh, I gotta stretch out my old lady legs. Oh. I've been having a lot of, you know what would have helped me today? Taking ibuprofen for my achy hips. Marion, what happens when you turn 40 and all of a sudden body parts start hurting? Like there's no reason for my hips to hurt, but they do every day. Okay. Oh. Discovering Beauty by Sophia Litwack. So what Sophia did in this book was on one page, we have the message about the card. But on the other page, she printed her notes as she was designing this card and the elements she used for depicting that card's meaning in her artwork, which I really love. And this is one I want to delve into. This is a deck that I've used without that, though. And I splurged. So it also comes with a mini guidebook, right? So you don't need the big guidebook if you buy the deck. It comes with a little mini guidebook, but it is so beautiful, and I'm going to be, it shuffles beautifully. It is a beautiful deck. I can show this one. I can show this one. I can show this one. This deck has a lot of nudity, so YouTube doesn't like it. Okay, so I'll just show a few cards. And along with that, I also have the mini version. Okay, because we love, bitches love mini decks. I love mini decks. I am bitches. The mini deck also comes with a little guidebook, right? So when this came up on Kickstarter, I just like hit buy all, right? So the mini deck is truly mini. Here is a card versus the regular tarot. It is a cute. Okay, so showing you the artwork. It is gorgeous. And there are renamings. So this is really a deck you have to work with for a little bit. You can't just pull it off the shelf. And I mean, I guess some people could, because they're good. Marian could probably pull this off the shelf and read with it, no problem. I need to read the guidebooks. But this is a good deck to study as well. But it is not on my to-use list for this year. And Marian, okay, so Marian does every Sunday, which should be posted soon. If it's not posted already, she does week ahead readings. And she put all of her tarot decks in a jar. Wrote down on little slips of paper all the names of her tarot decks. And she picks one out of the jar, and that is the deck she uses to read with. And I think that is a beautiful idea. I'm not quite there. I'm picking one deck a month right now to work with. So this is also going to go on the bottom shelf here. And these are probably going to get moved around. Small decks I'm going to put up top. Okay. Pocket decks are going to go up top. What else do I have? Oracle deck. Moment. Okay, another deck that is on my to-do list to read with this year is the Rhythm and Soul Tarot by Stephanie Williamsing. And this was a Kickstarter, I think, 2 years ago. Stephanie has started her own printing company, and it's called Panthera. Yeah, La Panthère. And you probably know Stephanie from the Southern Gothic Oracle and the Southern Botanic Oracle and the Southern Haunts Oracle. And she also has several others. I found this one on eBay because at the time her Etsy store was closed and she hadn't launched her own website yet. So it has a beautiful guidebook. This is one I'm waiting for summer to use because this is definitely very Southern summer. I gotta stretch out my old lady legs again. You are mentioned in the Rhythm and Soul guidebook. Where? I want to see. Ah, you are. Okay. This is a quote from Marian herself. A deck for all this. I'm not going to try and do your accent. Okay. It's just not going to happen. A deck for all the senses. You see, hear, and feel the images in the Rhythm and Soul Tarot. The sheer joy of expression and energy within the Knight of Axes will have your feet tapping. By contrast, the tempting bad boy in the Three of Axes shows you that even tough guys have a heart. The intensity of the King of Blues as he stares out from the card lets you know what real hard-won wisdom is, and that he plays out his pain and creates healing within his music. A deck that truly penetrates you to your soul. I love it. Marian Kirk, International Tarot Consultant, UK. Wow. So that's from Marian herself. So this is on my to-use list. Probably a July or August deck for me when it's 100 disgusting degrees. I also really want her Oracle trilogy, but I don't use oracles as much as I should, and so I can't justify buying all three of them. So I've just settled on getting the Southern Gothic Oracle for now, but I haven't yet. Marian has the answers. My hips are hurting because by 40, the estrogen that creates the lubricant. Oh, I forgot I can do this. I haven't been live in so long. Thank you, Dr. Marian, for that. Okay. Oh. This is going. It's for this year. Okay, here's a deck that I've been using recently, and it is the Wild Unknown. Lisa Popez just did a deck study that I had every intention of doing, and then I didn't. But I have been using this deck. It is a very popular deck. It, like Lightseers, is one of those decks that you either love it or you hate it. It is a very stark deck. Like, if you're trying to hide from your feelings, this is not the deck for you because it will read you bare. Oh, hey there. My birthday is in May, so it has not happened yet. But I believe Marian's is coming up because she's an April Taurus. And I edged this one in a red glitter because I really like sitting and watching TV and edging my tarot decks. I feel like it builds a relationship with the deck, and it gives me something to do with my hands when I'm watching TV. I got this deck from a blind date with a deck from Nicole Mims. I do have an unboxing of this in my shorts. Oh, you're the 18th of May. I'm the 13th. I thought you were an April Taurus for some odd reason. So I was incorrect. She's a May Taurus. We are more formidable of the Tauri. I'm leaving this out because I'm working with this. Okay. So now Lisa is doing her Rider-Waite-Smith study, which I also promised myself I would do, and we're 2 weeks in and I haven't cracked open a book yet. But naturally, I had to get the giant RWS. One, because I don't own a plain RWS. I own the Pixie Pop, which is a recolorized version. And this box is empty because it's in a bag because I throw it in my purse a lot. But I don't have a regular RWS. So I compromised and I got the huge one because it makes me laugh. I mean, you can look at this. The cards are bigger than my face. Translate into it's in a bag because I throw it in my... And Siri had opinions. Oh, Starlight, happy birthday. It's coming up. And hi, Angel. I see you. This is the teacher's version. Well, I own it now. It's massive. I love it. It's so ridiculous. And this isn't an indie deck. Right, I forgot we were doing indie versus mass market. Okay. So anyway, I bought the giant RWS. Did I need it? No. Did I want it? Yes. Does it make me laugh? Also, yes. Okay. This I'm leaving out because I'm also working with it when I get around to it. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let's do seasonal decks because I want to put those away. Okay. I don't have very many seasonal decks that are straight up seasonal, but I do have a few. So I do have the Winter Season Tarot by Danielle Norman. And I want to get her autumn one. It does come with a guidebook. But it is so wintry and gorgeous. And she lives in Canada somewhere where they have real seasons. And this is all done by photos she took or stock photography. So this is going to get put away till next winter. Okay. My other winter deck is the Winter Weight Redux. And I got the Stars, the holographic version. And it looks beautiful. It doesn't really show up well on camera. You can kind of see it. But it's fun. It's perfect for winter and Christmas time. I did back their more Christmassy Kickstarter that they just did. Because I love Christmas. I know it's weird that a Taurus would like super cozy times where people give gifts. Totally out of character for me. That was sarcasm. Marian's laughing right now. Oh, and I did edge this too in a white glitter. Because of course I did. Oh. Okay. Now for my autumn decks. I have the original Dark Mansion. And if you haven't heard what Taroteca Studios is doing, it is really irritating. So they have this is a very popular deck, and they also did Slavic Legends. And is it done by the same artist? Yes. So Magdalena Kaksan. But they've taken this wonderful classic deck and they've remastered it with AI without the permission of the artist because they own the copyright, which I think is shitty. So I will not be supporting Taroteca Studios anymore. But this deck still is amazing. And I bought this deck from Melissa Sonova because she was doing a little walkthrough of all her decks, showing her deck collection, and I saw it on her shelf, so I messaged her and I was like, hey Liz, can I buy that from you? And she said yes. So I sent her money and she sent me a deck. Which is really unfortunate because I really like Taroteca's deck, but I think that is really crappy of them to do, especially I have a lot of feelings about AI being used for artists, and I definitely have feelings about AI being used to remaster an artist's work without her consent. That is crappy. And I mean, they own the copyright, but still. So this is one of my autumn decks. Another one is the Lighted Window Tarot by Lindsay Hook. She is actually local to me in California. This is a Pippish deck, but it feels more than Pippi to me. This is a beautiful reader. I love using it in autumn, especially late autumn, like late October, November, and around Thanksgiving time. And I heard from Sohini over at Tarot for Tired People that Lindsay is working on an oracle to go with this deck, I think, or just an oracle period. I'm unclear. Next, I have, this was my Halloween purchase because I didn't have any Halloween decks. This is 78 Tarot Halloween. It is supposed to be all art or digital art. There are some artists in here that I think used AI, but it was not disclosed. but that is okay. It's a massive deck. It's really hard for my hands to hold, but most of it is really good. And I really love collective, what's the word they used? Collaborative art, right? So like each artist, so each card has the title. Oh, we may need to take a break so I can stand up soon. Each card has the title and then the artist. So this is the King of Pentacles by Kendra Hope. So they used 78 different artists to collaborate with this deck. And this sun card is so cute. And it is so fun and so Halloween. I love using this for readings around Halloween and in October. It's fun, right? And here's the box. It does not come with a guidebook, so, you know, intuitive reading or traditional RWS meanings. I do have seasonal mass market decks, but we will get to those later. I have the Yuletide Tarot and Trick or Treat Tarot. I'm seeing more cards than I have space for. Angel, isn't it fun? Actually, Angel, I think you're the reason I bought that deck. I actually think I saw it on your channel and went out and bought it. So that one's your fault. I don't see, okay, we're 50 minutes in. I don't see how I'm getting through all this today. It's going to be a 4-hour live stream. Don't mind me, I'm thinking. Sometimes it takes a minute. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is, sorry, you probably are going to see my butt. I apologize. Okay. I want my tarot books up here. I don't need these other books up here right now. No! Okay. These can go elsewhere. These I do like having easy access to. Okay. I've made more room. It's Angel's fault I bought that deck. Okay, another deck I want to work with this year, and it's going to be an autumn one. It's not an autumn deck, but it is autumn feeling to me. sorry, not sorry, is another Lennox Restack, and I have backed Folkloric Waters, so we should be getting that in the next month or so. But this is Folkloric Forest. So this is I forget what you call these, it's like found art or something. So anyway, she takes classic art and assigns card meetings. But you can see why I feel like this is a more autumn feeling deck to me. That's a great Chariot card. So this is also on my 10 decks I want to use this year. 12 decks. 12. I can count. These are now out of order. Oh well. Lennox always produces a very high quality tarot deck. Oh. I haven't even gotten to the oracles yet, one of which is Marion's oracle. I had dusted this. I guess I have not. Okay. Okay. So Angel, I don't know because I don't know how many I have. So who you don't see is my friend Kristen. She is in the back end with me. She is also on Instagram. I should probably check and see if she's messaged me. She has not. Okay. She is updating my spreadsheet with I have the name of the deck if I bought it from someone and the value. And I am doing the value mostly because I live in California and I live in a high fire danger area. And so having the value of all my tarot, like absolutely, I hope I have enough time to evacuate that I'm able to grab a bin and throw my decks in there. And in summer, most Californians have go bags. So like probably starting in June, my mom and I will pack bins that we will like put in the garage of important paperwork, family heirlooms, and things that will like what I'll have a backpack ready to go, and I'll have a couple changes of clothes. I'll have any medications pre-planned out. I will pack a couple days worth of dog food and medications for the dogs. And we will have these placed by doors and things like that. So, but given that sometimes fires move too quickly, we may not have the luxury of, you know, an hour or 2 hours or even 3 hours. We might have less than 10 minutes. So having the value and what I paid for decks on a spreadsheet to take to insurance is a good plan. So I should probably have that for all my crystals too, but I'm not. Tarot decks mean more to me than rocks. So so the answer to that question is I don't know. But this live stream is serving multiple uses. Okay. One of the decks that was on my 12 decks, and I will be doing an updated 12 decks video. But this is another Taroteca. This is another beautiful deck. This is my favorite death card. It is Slavic Legends, and I used this one in February and March. Look at this devil. Ugh. You know, I don't even mind the ram skull. Like, hello, daddy. The men in this deck are like ridiculously hot. So are the women, to be honest. This deck is just hot. So that is Slavic Legends. Beautiful deck. Beautiful quality. I'm really sad Taroteca is being shit, frankly. Okay, let's do this. Children of Letha and Ostara are my next one by Alexandra Huntington, and I have both. I was using the Children of Ostara in autumn because it is a plant-based deck. It is very beautiful. I don't know that these ones are going to stay in my collection, to be totally honest. They're safe right now. Amen to that. The devil in the Slavic Legends is 10 out of 10. Like, I will self-destruct. No questions asked. So anyway, this was the Children of Ostara. And then I have the Children of Letha, which is also on my deck, my list to use. This is an animal deck. So while Ostara is a plant deck, this is an animal deck. It's a coup. Yeah, fires are no joke in California, but it's kind of like earthquakes, except you can't really make your house fire retardant. We do in California, like, there are things you can do by using special materials to make your house less flammable. You can get like insurance discounts and things like that. But if you're unfamiliar with the campfire that happened in Paradise, California, I suggest you look it up. There's a whole ass movie about it. But literally an entire town got burned and over 200 people died because the fire was moving so fast people could not get out. There was not enough warning. And it takes a special set of weather conditions to do that. So, but I live in a town that could easily happen to. I live in the mountains. We have a lot of valleys and microclimates where fire can create its own weather and really blow through these canyons. So it sucks and it's scary, but it's part of living here. So this is the Children of Letha. And I do want to work with this deck more, so I'm going to leave it on the top shelf. The Children of Ostara can go down here. Next, we have one of my favorite decks, and I use this deck very often. It is the Trash Panda Tarot. This deck is so adorable and so cheeky and so fun and reads really well. But the swords are sporks. The wands are marshmallows on sticks. There's even a lobster in the moon card. The pentacles are D20 dice or D10s. And the cups are grape soda. And it has some of the cutest backs I've ever seen in my life. This deck is a favorite. It's not going anywhere. Another favorite. And if I choose to declutter, it's going to be a while, right? Like I just started collecting in 2025. So I need to sit for a couple years on decks. This is the Hilda Tarot. And Hilda is the creation of Dwayne Bryers, who was a pop culture artist in the 50s and 60s, I think. So Hilda is a pinup girl. And my grandmother had Hilda. The Trash Panda is amazing, and it is on Etsy. She had several prints of Hilda in the guest bathroom in her house while I was growing up. So this deck totally reminds me of my grandmother. And who can't connect to a character like Hilda? She is so gorgeous and such a real person and gets herself into these situations that are absolutely crazy. And she's adorable. So this is also a deck that isn't going anywhere. I believe this is available on Make Playing Cards. I have the Gingham edition that I got on Mercari. This deck sells in excess of $300 sometimes, depending on which version you have. Okay, here's one that I'm not going to use, and this one will probably get destashed at some point, but it is really cute, and I just can't connect with it, and when I try and read with it, it gives me just an absolute nonsense readings. That is the Atomic Cat. So if you ever wanted a cat deck in the style of the Jetsons, this is for you. It is so cute and so cheeky. Cardstock is subpar, in my opinion, and it is glossy. But it was a Kickstarter, and it was adorable. And if it would read, I would keep it because it is funny. And maybe I'll pull it out again sometime soon and make another attempt. this on the bottom shelf. So I'm using it. Okay, I am going to talk about an oracle. Okay. Let's talk about Lisa and Peggy Pepez decks. All right, so we have the Unicorn's Journey. We have the Unicorn's Journey Pocket. We have the Unicorn's Journey Oracle. And we have Sassy Dragons Not Safe for Work. I do not have the Safe for Work version because I figured it would be superfluous for me to have it. And I'd never use it because I want the ones with cuss words in it because I use cuss words a lot. Okay. Unicorn's Journey Tarot was Lisa Pepez's first deck. She uses high quality cardstock. When Lisa Pepez makes a deck, nothing is skimped upon. She's going to be having a new Kickstarter coming up called the Sassy Pam, which is going to be an RWS based deck. It is actually going to use the 1909 out of copyright original artwork by Pamela Coleman Smith. And it is going to be done in the style of Sassy Dragons, which has the meanings on the cards. You know, I did do that with the Atomic Cat Tarot. I did. And then I just left it on my shelf to be soaked up by the energy of other decks. And I've never had this happen before. And I buy decks, used decks all the time. So, and it was not a used deck. It was a new deck that I got directly from Kickstarter. So I'm confuzzled by that, but it's not in a hurry to leave my collection. So this is Unicorn's Journey. I originally bought the pocket sized first because I had, back when I was collecting decks, I had this thing where I didn't want to spend more than like $50 on a deck. And I realize now that that was stupid. Mostly because the cost of printing and indie decks is getting astronomical. But I have the whole collection. I will get Sassy Pam. So this is probably one that I'm going to leave together, even though I do use these a lot. So like the Four of Cups, it says, quit bitching and appreciate what you've got. Acknowledge the root of your discontent and then address it. Ace of Pentacles. Ka-ching, baby. When opportunity knocks, remember to open the door. It's just super cheeky. And if you know Lisa and Peggy Pepez, it is so them. It is a really cute deck and one that you just, I think everybody needs this in their collection. I'm going to keep all these together except the mini, which is going to go on top. And I put this on the top shelf because I use these a lot. Okay. We'll do the 5-cent tarot next. So this comes in a bag. I bought this from my friend Tracy. And this is a really fun little deck. So I have the gunmetal gray version. It does come with a little guidebook, a little white book. But the thing that I love about this deck is it has keywords on it for the upright and reversed meaning. So like this is the King of Buttons, the King of Pentacles. Upright, it means affluence, discipline, acumen. Reversed, it means avarice, avarice. I've never heard that word before. I have to look it up. Unsavvy and rigidity. The Fool, reversed, recklessness, naivete, risk. Upright, spontaneity, new beginnings, and free spirit. It's just a really cool little deck. I have not used it yet. I didn't know this big hairy spider was on the Magician. So here we go. This probably has reversals in it. I might actually use reversals with this deck. I don't normally read with reversals. I feel like if a deck has a negative meaning, I'll pick it up in the reading, but we'll see. Okay, I would like to work with this one soon. I am going to put it on the bottom, and I will know that it is there. Let's go for the Stasia Burrington decks. Okay. If you know, you know. Do you have 2 unicorn tarots and a coral? Yes. Okay. What does this do? Oh, it won't let me. Okay. So this is the infamous Susurrabito, aka the Sassy Burrito. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. These just came in. And I had ordered these back in January. The Susurrabito was available. The Yukika was not. She was getting the second printing of it. And so this just came in. But this is a fabulous deck. And a deck I want to read with sooner rather than later. So it is going to go on the top shelf. And next is the Yukika Tarot, which I think is going to be just as much okay. Kristen's been chatting with me, which apparently you can do in StreamYard, and I did not know that. Okay. Okay. Now I know to look at that. Like I said, Kristen's filling out my spreadsheet right now. And she had questions that I wasn't seeing. So we will come back to that. So this is the Yukika. This is Stasia Burrington's new deck. It is beautiful and gorgeous. It has these rose gold hollow edges. Oh, stunning. Who sucks? You do not suck. Kristen said she sucks. She doesn't suck. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this fool. Stasia's artwork is gorgeous. Okay. There are walkthroughs of most of these decks, so I'm not going to walk through them all, but I do like showing the decks because that's why we're all here, right? These ones are going to go on the top shelf. Okay. I'm going to do a Okay, this is a mix of mass market and indie. I have 3 Taylor Swift decks. Okay, I have an indie. It was AI, unfortunately. I did not know that. Okay, but this is it. I'm not going to show it because I don't believe in showing AI on my channel. This is the tarot. This is done by Suburban Witch. It is not AI. It is all hand drawn. It is hilarious and I love it. And each card has a lyric on it. So like the 4 of Cups, I had a feeling so peculiar that this pain would be forevermore. I love Taylor Swift. That should not be a surprise to anybody. The AI deck I'm keeping, this was a gift, right? This was a gift from my friend Liz. And I'm going to put it on the bottom deck. Actually, I might put it over there. This I bought for myself, but I'm keeping it. And then next is a mass market. This is done by RP Studio. You can get it actually, yeah, Running Press, RP Studio. This is the Eras Tour Tarot. Unauthorized. It has a super meaty guidebook. I've used this quite a bit and will continue to do so because it brings me joy. And I'd love to show you some cards, but I can't get it open. Oh, there we go. Oh, and I edged this one too. Okay, so I edged this in a blue sparkle. And here are the cards. All right. These two are going to go on the top shelf. This one's going to go on the bottom shelf. This one's going to go on the top shelf. Next is Pixie Pop. I don't have it to show you because it's in my purse. But it is going to go over there in the corner. All right, we are almost through all the indie decks. Almost. But I need a sip of coffee, which is now cold. Yep, that is icy. Okay. I need to go heat this up. So we're going to take a break, and I need to stand up. So taking a break. A moment. That's okay, Marion. I'm going to take a real quick break. I need to stand up and go heat up my coffee. Okay. And I need to touch base with Kristen real quick. So give me a second. I'm going to go heat up my coffee and go to the loo and be right back. We're almost through my indie decks. Okay. Oh, I got to stand up like an old person. Okay, don't pay attention to me as I hobble. I'm back. I guzzled my coffee and I took some ibuprofen, which I have discovered when you take anti-inflammatories, it makes you feel better, which is something everyone should know, but apparently I forgot. Okay, so I also took the opportunity to, these are going to go back in my purse, but I have the Light Sears Pocket Edition. Marion has opinions about this deck. I edged mine in this teal. It's cute. I keep it in my purse. Tin decks are perfect for purses. I also throw this one in my purse sometimes. This is the Pixie Pop. And it is just a pop color recolorized version of the RWS. And I like it. This is kind of my read everything deck. Like, it's RWS. You can't go wrong. It's been recolorized to make it more diverse. And it's just a great all-around deck. And you can find the Pixie Pop on Etsy. So those are my purse decks. Okay, let's talk about Lynn Thurman decks. Okay, so I have the Quiet Rebel Tarot. This is an indie deck. And this is collage art, but done really well. It just is so fun. I originally got this deck to go with a different oracle, but it turns out it goes best with Lynn's oracles, which is not surprising. So, Lynn Thurman is a UK creator. She prints all of her decks in the UK. They do come with little white books, but you can purchase full guidebooks. You either get them on PDF or you can purchase them from Amazon. So I bought the Quiet Rebel Tarot, and then I kicked myself because I didn't get the Quiet Rebel Oracle. So when she had her Kickstarter for the Misfit Diva Oracular Spectacular, I went and got the Pocket Oracle as well. And I think I'm going to keep creator decks together. I was going to do Oracle, but I'm going to keep them together. So anyway, here is the Oracular Spectacular. And this particular Oracle goes splendidly with the Quiet Rebel. Okay, so I'm going to keep these together. And they're going to go on my top shelf as well, because I use those frequently. And while Marion is here, we're going to go through a couple other Oracle decks. So this is Marion's Oracle deck. If you are unfamiliar, it is the Grief Journey Oracle. I feature this deck on my channel a lot. This is Clive. And I did not back the Kickstarter because I did not know Marion when it was active. It is written by Marion, illustrated by Terry Cottrell in all oil paints. The guidebook is spectacular. It is full color, written by Marion. And I would have bought this deck anyway because Marion did it. But I had just lost Jake. And so I figured this was a good deck to kind of work through my grief. And we're getting to the place where I need to start doing that. It's been a year and a half now, and I've let time kind of do its thing, and now it's time to work around some of those feelings. But this is a beautiful deck. It is available. Marion, can you put where to find it in the comments, please? This is one that I use a lot. So I'm sitting where my chair currently goes. So this one is going to go here, where I can easily grab it when I'm doing online readings. Next is another independent oracle. This was done by Tamara Cook from I Am the Horse Witch podcast. And if you don't know the I Am the Horse Witch podcast, it is brilliant. It's how I first found Tamara. She had me on a year ago last December. And this is Wild Goddesses of the Screen and Beyond. So it features prominent actresses from the golden age of Hollywood and also prominent female figures in mythology. So like this is Goddess Guinevere, Gloria Swanson, Medusa, Josephine Baker, Marie Laveau, Dolores Del Rio, Effa, Ava Gardner, Bastet. This deck is originally why I got the Quiet Rebel Tarot, because I wanted to pair it with this, and I thought it was a similar genre. This deck actually pairs really well with everything. This is still available. You have to contact Tamara on Facebook, and if anybody is interested, I can connect you. This is another one that I use quite a bit because my friend made it. Okay. Other decks that I use a lot that are going on the top shelf. This Might Hurt. This is a classic. This is the indie version. I scored this. And this was printed by Liminal 11. They have gone out of business. So she is coming out with an oracle. This might help oracle. I have no idea who's printing that. But this is a beautiful modern deck. Really easy to read with. It's one of my go-tos. This and Lightseers, to be totally honest. But this is the independent version, so it goes in the indie deck pile. Oracle. Wild Goddesses is an oracle. This is one I read with a lot, so it's going on the top shelf. We might have to do a part 2. Mass market might have to wait for another day. Okay. Okay, 2 pocket decks that are going to go on the top. This is the pocket edition of Out of Hand. This is a Jamie Sawyer deck. And the whole premise of this deck was I bought this from Shanna D over at Shanna D. That's her channel. And it's a first person. So all of the cards are from a first person perspective, as if this was your life, which I thought was amazingly creative. And actually it was this card, the Fool. This woman with her wallet, her keys, and her dog heading out the door for the day was why I bought this deck, because this is me every day. That is the card that sold that deck, because I saw myself in the deck and I had to have it. And I had seen this deck. I wanted it. And then Shanna D showed it on her channel and she was decluttering it. So I was like, hello, I would like that deck, please. And she sent it to me. Excuse me. It is spring and my allergies are going nuts. Okay. Another pocket deck I have is the Crystal Struck Tarot indie deck by Moonstruck Crystals. I don't think it says a name. Art by Kara Pavlik, but that's all it says. It does come with a little guidebook. I got the silver holographic version because of course I did. This does come in a full size and you can find it on Moonstruck Crystals. Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks, Marianne. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me. And this shows a crystal in every card. There are other crystal decks, but I really like this one the best. And I did get the pocket version. I could have gotten the full size, but I like the idea of a pocket version. To be totally honest, pocket versions are easier on my little hobbit hands. So this is Cosmic Wisdom by Ethany. This is going out of print. I think she's got 4 copies left. But I follow her and she posted on her channel that it was going out of print. It does have a full color guidebook. And so I bought it. It does come with multiple lovers cards. So you can have female or male or male or male or female or female. And it does come with this gold holographic gilding. Beautiful. I struggle with this deck because the horses in it are weird. But that is a personal problem. It has nothing to do with the deck or the creator itself. But if we come across a night card, I will show you what I mean. We're just not going to come across any night cards. Probably because I pulled them all out to show people. Anyway, I digress. I have not used this. I need to. The backs are beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. I'm going to put this on the top shelf too because I want to use it soon. Okay. I'm running out of steam. All right, we'll make it through all the indie decks, but the mass market might have to wait. Okay, next is Cosmic Cycles. This has a lot of drama behind it because Martina Razzo is the creator of the deck. The illustrator was Miriam. The Kickstarter happened and Martina fucked off. Nobody knows where Martina is. Miriam started selling the decks. And I wanted the pink version, but I found this version that had been edged, and she did a beautiful job edging it. I do wish she had used different colors for the different suits, but that's a personal thing. So I now have Cosmic Cycles. It is a very modern deck, much in the way that Lightseers or This Might Hurt is. And I do want to use this deck soon, but I haven't yet, which is why it's still in order. And it does come with a beautiful full color guidebook. And she be chunky. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more decks to go. All right, this one's going to go on the bottom shelf because I want to use it, but this is the Monstero travel size. This one has been edged. It is well loved. I got this off AV Marketplace for like 30 bucks. It sells for a lot more than that, but it is so cute. It is going to get bottom shelved though. Isn't that adorable? Focus. Okay. So this was another indie deck by Joanna Nelson, guidebook by Trish Sullivan. And it's just one of those classic indie decks everyone kind of needs to have. Next is the Lillifer Tarot. I bought this from Erin Lento, the Witch of Saturn, here on YouTube. But it is still available by Marion Constantin. You can get it on Etsy. And I believe she is doing an Oracle deck right now. The backs are beautiful. And it is still in order because I have not used it. And that is the Lillifer. It's going on the bottom shelf too. Okay. Here's another Erin Witch of Saturn, and that is the Whispers of Stars and Garden Tarot, a deck by Chain J. This one I also got from Erin. Here are the backs. Beautiful gold gilding. And this was on my want list. It went out of print, and then Erin was selling her copy, so I jumped on it. This is also going to go on the bottom shelf. It needs arrowroot powder. It's got a very rose petally finish, and it sticks when you try and shuffle it. But this is a deck I wanted to jump on because I wanted it, and it was going out of print. But I'll have it when I'm ready to use it, basically. And I'm running out of space. Oh, hip. Oh. Okay. I'm going to be limited by the amount of time I can sit here. 3 more decks. Then I'm going to call it for another day, and we're going to do mass market another time. Next is the Cracked Amethyst Tarot by Jessica Bott. This little guy traveled all across Canada to my friend Summer before she sent it down to me, because Jessica is not sending to the US because she is in Canada, and the US is stupid right now. But this is a no person deck, and I use it frequently and I love it. She does have several oracles, and I do want them, but not sending to the US, so I need to find them from a US seller selling used or whatever. But I do use this a lot. So Cracked Amethyst. Next is another Leliana Simone. I've been using this a lot for my week ahead readings, and this is the Decadent Tarot. This is inspired by the bold black and white illustrations of Aubrey Beardsley. The 78 dark deck captures the spirit of the fin de la siècle, which is French for I can't pronounce that. I got the dark botanical version. She does have a black and white version. I happen to love the dark botanical because it comes with this beautiful gilding. And it is gorgeous. Again, a deck I've been using a lot. Second shelf, because I've been using it a lot and it's time to use something else. Next is The Shadows We Cast by Nikki Ferrata. This is my last indie tarot deck. It is a beautiful deck, high quality cardstock. I heard a lot of people got this because they wanted it to be a more shadowy deck, and it is and it isn't. I haven't used this yet, but just looking at the images, it's not quite what I think people were wanting, but it's not a great reader. It's just not what people were expecting. I love it, and I need to use it. So it is also going down here. Maybe we'll move it up. Okay. I'm going to call it for the day. We're at almost 2 hours and I can't sit here anymore. Ooh, Angel. I backed her latest Oracle as well because I had just gotten that and I loved it so much. And Nikki was like, I'm doing an Oracle. And I was like, ooh, bye. So I'm expecting that soon as well. And I have looked at her Star Seeker Tarot and Oracle. I'm not a collection completionist, so I don't know that I will be purchasing those at any point. I did look at them a little bit, but they weren't really calling to me at this moment. But that doesn't mean they won't call to me in the future. Thank you so much, Starlight, for hanging out with me. Thank you, Angel, for hanging out with me. It has been awesome. A huge thank you to Kristen, who's been doing my back end right now. That did not sound good. She's been updating my spreadsheet. I can't recover mentally from what I just said. So look, probably May 3rd. I need to talk to Kristen to see when she's available to update spreadsheets again. But looks like I'm thinking Sunday, May 3rd might be a great day to do another live and go through my mass market decks. So thank you again for hanging out with me, and I will see you again. Bye, everybody.